Good morning, everyone. How are we all today? Fit like a day. No bad, Alan. Hope you're well today. Right, let's get a wee look and see who's in. We've got Last Braveheart, Wee Bird, Alan Arnott, Alistair, Rosie. Things are okay, no bad, and Straven just frosty. Morning, Jammy Dodger. Morning, truckers. Morning, all from the sleety and minging Portobello. Martin the Hibby. I have never heard Portobello be described as minging, as it's one of the better areas of Edinburgh. Well, just outside Edinburgh, to be fair. Who else we got? Islander. And we've got Desiree. You're away from home, but you can see for your camera how much snow there is. Okie dokie. Morning, Graham. Good morning, Dick Scratcher. That's a cracker. Morning, John. Morning. Here we go. It's George Dockery. Hootsman. Right, back down the way we go. Numbers are climbing nicely. Hi, Scott. Hi, Graham Beanie. Julie Brown. 74th. 74 the Gers. Good morning, 74 the Gers. Good morning, Margaret. Morning, Comrie. Stephen Nichol, Millie. Tina up there in Dundee. Jim Soralba. Alan Duncan's in the house. John Baxter's here. Rosalind. Right. Numbers are up there, so let's get this underway, shall we? It's Andy Truck Davey out the truck and at home in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire on Friday, the 9th of the 1st, 2026. Where it is bloody cold, 1 degree. Today's high is 1 degree, so that's as warm as it's getting. There is some snow and some rain in the forecast. Humidity's at 93%. Wind speed, I breathe heavier in the wind today. And there is no pollen count as we're in the winter. Okie dokie. Wee notification to tell me Reagan Elite's going live at 11 o'clock. Right after this show. Good morning, Sir Larry. I found Reagan Elite's show fascinating last night. Absolutely fascinating. For all sorts of reasons. I found the statement about Mandani on being inaugurated as mayor, sitting down with ordinary citizens and listening to their concerns. And Reagan was thinking, maybe something like that should go in here. Well, young fella, just so that you know, most of our elected officials, whether they be councillors, MSPs here in Scotland, or MPs, they all do something called surgeries. And that's where they sit down with the local populace, find out what their problems are, and see if they can cure them. So what Mr. Mandani was doing in New York is common practice here on these islands. Okay, right, first up this morning, now that we'll get the political education side of things out the road. First up this morning, we have got the Scotsman. What's that loony rag got for us this morning? We'll put it up. And the Scotsman tells us key projects at risk amid $1 billion budget black hole. And apparently some economist has predicted a $1 billion black hole. Well, we do know that the Scottish budget has been cut from Westminster. Even though we're contributing more, we are receiving less. But as to economists calculating a $1 billion black hole, that's like me taking a handful of sweeties outside, Smarties, a whole tube, throwing them up the air and trying to count them the way fucking down. Economists. They do not factor in so many factors that their predictions are generally way off the mark. Right, let's get rid of that and we'll get the next one up. Next up will be the Herald, of course. So, shot of the Scotsman, up with the Herald. What nonsense has the Herald got for us this morning? Anger at 177,000 pay deal ad for Director of Education. I don't understand why there'd be any anger at that. The Director of Education for a nation is fucking massive. It's a huge job. It encompasses so many levels from nursery education or preschool, primary, secondary, college sector, university sector. Wow, it's a massive fucking job. So 177k seems pretty fair to me. What do they expect? Somebody to do the job on minimum fucking wage. I expect that the Director of Education will be qualified to the hilts and know all about education at all levels. So why there would be any anger at the pay packet for such a massive job, I have absolutely no fucking idea. None. But of course it's manufactured anger. Manufactured by the newspaper. Right, then with the Herald and up with the Metro. What's the Metro got for us this morning? The Metro has driver who killed 3 in 92 mile per hour crash jailed. Senseless loss of young lives. It's irresponsible. Take it from me as a professional driver. That's fucking madness. 92 mile an hour crash. Surprised she survived. I'm not surprised the others didn't. Get this into your heads, folks. When you get into a vehicle, no matter what size it is or what its capabilities are, that's a deadly weapon and it has to be respected. Wow. Next up, we'll get the rancid and we don't put the rancid up. What's it got? The rancid is convicted of attacking 3 women. Monster. Apparently some drugged up bodybuilder attacked and raped 3 women and he's going to jail for it. Sounds about right. Right, now we'll get Daily Fail. So let's get that up. See what nonsense it's got. Victims betrayed as growing number of violent criminals are released from prison back onto streets under soft Dutch SNP. How can a life sentence be just 10 years? What a stupid fucking question. Now, I don't know what it is that the prison service does in England, but I'll tell you what it does here. It's called fucking rehabilitate people. That's what's supposed to happen in prison. You don't just take away their liberties and just fucking stick them in a cell and forget about them. They will have to come back into society at some point or another. So we have rehabilitation services. And if the person who'd taken this life is deemed to have been rehabilitated and safe to be released into society, then that's what should happen. If the prison service is incapable of rehabilitating somebody, then generally they don't let them out. Simple as that. Well, I think we all forget the purpose of prison. It's not just to take away somebody's liberty, it's to get them ready to come back into society again via rehabilitation. Oh. Mere manufactured fucking rage. What a lot of nonsense. Right, where are we now? After the Fail, we've got the National. What's the National got for us today? This violence must not be imported. Folks, the picture there is obviously of a missing car window and a headrest covered in blood. This is the vehicle that the ICE agent shot that mother of 3 in. And as new evidence debunks Trump's claim on killing of mum of 3 by his ICE thugs, alarm is sounded over Reform UK plans inspired by American approach. So apparently Nigel Farage wants to set up a ICE style units or department here within these islands. Just as well he's never going to make it to number 10, isn't it? And well done to Mark Carney off next week's state visit to China for deal making and diversifying from MAGA. That's his job. His job's to make Canada great again. Right, after the National, we have the Guardian. What's the Guardian go for today? Let's stick it up. Go back home. Now 34 ex-pupils accuse Farage of racist behaviour. It's not just 34 ex-pupils. We're all calling him a fucking racist. Because it's quite obvious that the man's a racist. Well, next up, we've got the Times. See what it's got for us this morning? Top Defence Chief warns of need for extra 28 billion. And it's got Starmer giving bleak assessment as tensions rise. $28 billion. I think he's underestimated what the military actually needs. But there's no point throwing money at it if you can't recruit. And they can't. Nobody, and I mean nobody wants to join at this point in time. And why would you? You would try and convince your children not to until there's a draft. Really. Rosie, it was enlightening to say the least. If I hadn't been at work, I'd have been screaming at the fucking screen at some sections of it. Right, where are we? See what nice folk were. 28 billion. I say, throw as much money at the military as you want. You don't get any personnel, it doesn't matter a fuck. And they ain't got personnel and nobody's joining. But I see we are starting to talk about a draft. I see Starmer was talking about it. Right, after the Times, we'll get the Tory graph. What's the Tory graph got for us this morning? Reeves to climb down on pub tax. Well, they're Tories, so they don't intend on taxing anybody. Except for the poorest amongst us. And the average working class who they're supposed to represent will bear the brunt. Business owners, millionaires, billionaires, they'll not pay a fucking tosser. Not at all. But if she thinks that's going to fix an ailing economy, getting us all passed, she's wrong. We'll just be miserably poor. Drunk and miserably poor. I think you get a certain age, you get our pub culture, don't you? Did Sir Larry watch it? Aye, he did. With a basic salary of 25,000, would you join the military? What the fuck? I'm in my bed for that. Although I have to say, I have been there. And thanks very much, Class Action, you're a star. Oh, we pinky up in the air there. See that one? Aye, right. The Tory graph. So there you go. Pubs, some pubs might survive, but I doubt it. Because as people get poorer, one of the things you cut out is days out. and visits to the boozer. All right. Right, next up we'll get the knuckle dragger's rag of choice, the Express. What's the Express got for us today? Princess acknowledges chemo strain on husband as couple make surprise hospital visit. Kate's praised for hero NHS cancer staff and volunteers. Better praise them now, because the way fucking things are going, if Farage gets voted in, there won't be any NHS staff in England. Wow. And of course, if he defunds NHS England, there are no consequences for an NHS in Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland. So he will have effectively killed off the NHS. Bear that in mind when you head to the polls in a couple of years' time, down there in England. How propaganda works. 60,000 homes in England lose power. Recently in Scotland, 48,000 still without power. Things are a wee bit harder to reconnect here. We're a wee bit spread out. Right. So that was a Lunar Rag, the Express. What's going after the Express? I think we've got the Scum in here somewhere. Yep. The Scum. And it's got a desist warning to David and Posh. Brooklyn goes legal in feud with parents. Send writ like Beckham. What the fuck's going on in the world when you've got children suing their parents? Wow. I'd have tried to say anything like that to my mom. She'd have battered my head on. Yeah. Wow. Suing your mom and dad. Who ever heard anything like that? You're like, wow. Right, let's get the eye up. We'll move on for Brooklyn soon as mum and dad, shall we? Putin's shadow fleet in UK waters as ministers pledge to use hard power. At least 50 suspect zombie tankers recorded sailing near Britain over past 3 days as grey war intensifies. Grey war? Fucking new one on me. But apparently 50 shadow tankers, whatever the hell they are, passed through the English Channel. Well, actually, when they passing through, they were stopping off to unload, because we all know that the unscrupulous business people in England have been buying the shitload cheap for Russia by the tanker load. I mean, people forget the headlines we had a couple of months back about this stuff. Or was it 12 or 18 months back about this stuff? Well, right, let's get rid of that. And that means one thing, as I shut the pad for today. And that is just the start to have a look at. Right after the show, I'm going to go and get a card defrosted. Madam Director finishes early today, compared to her average day. So I'm going to pick her up by 11:30. So I'm going to be here quite sharp. Right, let's see what the stars go for us. That's on about TV programme, and I don't watch TV, as you know, folks. So, traitors at war, cloak and daggers. Apparently, somebody, I better get the names because my name's in the bloody road there. Oh, I don't change screen. Fiona and Rachel. It's all kicking off. Now, I haven't got a bloody clue what that's about. And to be fair, I'm not really interested in what it's all about. Stopped watching TV a long time ago when I realised it was bad for my fucking sanity. Right, folks. Uninsured tankers. So, a shadow tanker is an uninsured tanker to keep Russian oil for blood money going. They've been changing their names and their flags. Illegal and hunted. Illegal and hunted. Better tell that to people in England. Because they've been offloading the fucking stuff near Norfolk. For shadow tankers. Into registered tankers. But thanks for letting me know what a shadow tanker was. Right, guys, that's it for this week. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it informative. And look after yourselves over the weekend. Stay warm. Stay safe. And that's it. I'll see you on Monday morning to start again. Have a nice weekend. Bye for now.